Say that again?
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Guys, I got it. Ready?
Hey nerds, so I just rewatched Fantastic Four First Steps, and honestly, this movie is really good. It feels like an actual love letter to Marvel's first family. You can tell the writers really understand these characters, not just their powers, but their relationships, their history, the energy that makes the Fantastic Four the Fantastic Four. And I mean, it only took Marvel like 10 years to finally get it right, but in all fairness, that was a different studio, 20th Century Fox. And I mean, I remember being 15, sitting through Fan 4-Stick, whatever fever dream that was supposed to be. And now I'm a 25-year-old adult apparently. Time has completely lost any meaning, and to make things funnier, people don't even respect Fan 4-Stick enough to call it by its real name. And honestly, fair, but hey, the actors who played the Thing and Invisible Woman in that movie ended up getting married. So at least somebody got a win out of that whole situation. My first real introduction to the Fantastic Four was actually through the Spider-Man comics. When I first started reading the original issues from the 1960s, Spider-Man literally goes to the Baxter Building in his first issue of The Amazing Spider-Man, and you immediately see that these guys aren't just another superhero team. They're different. They're explorers, inventors, a lovable family of geniuses. And honestly, Reed Richards was the guy you went to when you had a problem. He's the one who helped Spider-Man figure out that the black suit was a lie, that it was a symbiote, not Iron Man. And Reed Richards really is the original science dad of the Marvel Universe in my opinion. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, drop a like and consider subscribing. Everything in this movie just flows naturally, scene to scene, moment to moment, and it gave me this nostalgic feeling that I haven't had since the early days of the MCU, back when it actually had heart and identity, and I was looking forward to the films. The reason that this film works is because at its core, this isn't just another superhero film. It's a sci-fi movie. The retro-futuristic world building sets it apart from the MCU's usual style. The movie takes place on a different Earth, which is a choice I love, because it lets the Fantastic Four be the center of attention. There's no cameos for no reason, no universe-saving homework, just the Fantastic Four being the Fantastic Four. And honestly, this feels like stepping into a comic book universe and just being able to live there for 2 hours. And like Guardians of the Galaxy, that's technically MCU, but it still felt like its own thing, and that was in the best way possible. Michael Giacchino absolutely cooked with this movie's score. It's so hopeful, futuristic, and warm. It feels like looking out toward a new horizon. And the fact that he wrote an entire score for the film and scrapped it to start over, that's real dedication. I mean, I wouldn't have done that. And the cinematography is just so impressive in this film. Every shot feels carefully composed and planned. Galactus especially, the way that they frame him makes you feel his scale and his godlike presence. This film actually cares about how it looks, unlike other MCU films. What really stood out to me after I'd watched it again is that this superhero movie focuses on pregnancy and raising a child. And this film tackles it beautifully. The movie starts off with Reed and Sue finding out that they're finally having a baby after struggling for 2 years and giving up hope. And this immediately grounds the film in something real and emotional. This storyline won't resonate with everyone, but there are people who are going to see this and feel genuinely seen by the film. It adds humanity, something superhero films sometimes forget to do nowadays. And I have to talk about the set design because it goes so hard in this film, and is ridiculous honestly. The Baxter Building, the ship, their tech, the look of the world, it all feels real and tangible. You can really feel the effort that they put into making this universe feel distinct. Everything looks like something you could walk up to and touch, which is something I love. And at the end of the day, this movie is a family story.
I don't have friends, I got family.
A family affair. "20 points to whoever got that joke without me putting the actual name of the song there. The Fantastic Four have been training for 4 years, learning their powers, adapting to their new lives, and trying to live as a family under insane circumstances. Their bond is so well written that you totally understand why the world looks up to them. They're not just heroes, they're more than that. They're leaders, scientists, explorers, and symbols of hope and progress. If I'm being honest, I was skeptical about Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards, and I know this was also controversial at first, not because he's a bad actor, but because we've seen him in a lot of things. But after watching the film, yeah, he's my Reed Richards. He plays Reed as someone who's incredibly intelligent to the point of isolation, possibly somewhere on the spectrum, and terrified that his child might inherit the same struggles. His brain never shuts off. He feels like the world is his responsibility to fix, and that burden damages his relationships. And the movie really nails that tragic brilliance.
It is my job to think terrible things so that terrible things don't happen.
And Vanessa Kirby is perfect as Sue Storm. This is really dream casting. And the fact that Jack Kirby co-created the Fantastic Four and she literally has the Kirby last name, that's destiny right there. Sue really is the emotional core of the Fantastic Four. She's compassionate, powerful, diplomatic. She literally brokers peace with Subterranea. And she balances Reed's coldness with warmth and strength. Her power display in this movie is also incredible. After seeing it a second time, I really did realize that she nearly solo defeated Galactus. That's crazy. And there's also a scene where she speaks to the public and brings everyone together in defending Earth, and it genuinely hits. And now on to Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm. Their dynamic is really one of the highlights of the movie for me. They're basically brothers. You see them roasting each other, saving each other's lives, and just being emotional disasters together. And Johnny Storm this time is not a womanizer. He's an astronaut, he's intelligent, and he cares deeply about his nephew Franklin. Him decoding the Silver Surfer's language was such a great detail and a great task for him to perform. And I do need to see him meet Spider-Man because their comic dynamic is legendary. I mean, they are best friends and super competitive with one another, which I love to see. And for Ben Grimm, I'm just glad that they made that thing suit practical. And thank God, because he looks incredible. Ben's emotional moments also hit hard. You feel his sadness over losing his old life, which is not really shown too much, but it is subtle. But you also feel his pride in helping people and how much he appreciates the power that he has. And he's honestly just a gentle soul in a rock body. One of the strongest parts of this movie, and honestly, what has always made the Fantastic Four special, is the way it handles the relationships between the team members. These aren't co-workers or teammates or a bunch of superheroes thrown together. They're not the Avengers, they're not the Thunderbolts. They're a family first, and a superhero team second. And this film nailed that balance in a way that the MCU hasn't done in years. Reed and Sue's relationship is the emotional backbone of the story. Reed's mind is constantly racing, as you've seen, sometimes to the point of shutting people out, but Sue always grounds him. She's his anchor, the person who can pull him back to reality when he disappears into equations and cosmic threats. Sue is just trying to hold the family together while also dealing with her own fears. They're scared, hopeful, unsure, and that makes them relatable in a way superhero couples rarely are. They complement each other perfectly. Reed thinks about the universe, Sue thinks about the people living inside it. One thing that doesn't get talked about enough is Sue and Johnny's relationship with one another. The movie gives us some nice moments between them, which a lot of adaptations tend to gloss over. Sue isn't just Johnny's older sister, she's practically his second mom, and Johnny clearly adores her. He listens to her more than he lets on, and their little interactions show that despite all the teasing, he does deeply respect her. When she fights Galactus, the look Johnny gives her says everything. That's his sister, and she's the strongest person he knows. Reed and Ben have one of the most emotionally complex relationships. They're lifelong friends, bonded long before either of them had powers. But in a way, Reed represents Ben's past too, the normal life he lost, but also the person who has always believed in him. There's no resentment here, fortunately. Ben doesn't blame Reed for what happened during the cosmic incident, and that alone sets this movie apart from previous versions for me. Instead, you can see that Ben accepts his new life, and he trusts Reed completely. Reed, on the other hand, carries the guilt of what happened to Ben, even though Ben doesn't hold it against him. And their friendship is filled with unspoken history, the kind that doesn't need exposition because it's portrayed through the way they talk, argue, and look out for one another. Now let's talk about Silver Surfer. Okay, that's not the one. That's just Subway Surfers. Okay, now that's it. Shala Ball is phenomenal. She's really unreadable, which I like. You can feel her gentleness, but also the distance at the same time. You can kind of feel the sense of the sacrifice she made for her world and how much she thinks about it. And her sequences in this film are mind-blowing. The chase scene where she hits light speed, dives into a black hole, and still keeps going, one of the coolest sequences in any comic book movie in my opinion. And the Fantastic Four working together to escape from her, that was pure sci-fi perfection. It felt like we were in a Star Trek film for a second. And also, real question here. Do I have a crush on Invisible Woman or the Silver Surfer? Or both? Why did the director have to make this so difficult for us, like honestly? Now the real villain, Galactus. He is finally done right. And this is how you do Galactus. Not that cloud nonsense from Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like what even was that? This Galactus feels ancient. He feels cosmic. exhausted by pure existence. He even hints that he was once a regular person who had this burden forced on him, like he is trying to do on Franklin. He's both terrifying, but sympathetic, a force of nature with a tragic core. And the visual details in the film are incredible. I loved how his glowing eyes changed when he was searching or fighting. This movie is the perfect Fantastic Four story. After years of misfires, Marvel finally delivered a version of the team that feels right. A true family, flawed but united, explorers and protectors of a world that depends on them. The universe did correct itself. We finally have a Fantastic Four movie worth celebrating, and actually watching. And now on to Avengers Doomsday, where we'll see the Fantastic Four and Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like this casting when it was announced, mostly because it felt desperate. But after some time thinking about it, it might actually turn out really good. Even though I prefer they picked someone else, if you've seen his performance in Oppenheimer, if he can bring that energy, it's gonna be hype.
He's never once said that he regrets Hiroshima. He'd do it all over. Why? Because it made him the most important man.
So what did you think of the movie? Are you a Fantastic Four fan now? Are you Team Invisible Woman or Silver Surfer? Let me know down in the comments. And remember, I'm just another nerd. Stay nerdy out there, friends.